Hello, I am Denise Atome. This is my map, Cough_Courtyard. We're going to start with the spawn rooms. These are identical on both red and blue side. They are pretty large with two exits at different heights. These give the player different ways of exiting spawn. There are supply lockers present next to each of the doors. I also added these colored arrows and signs to be in theme with the team and the player that the players are on. Blue signs for the blue side and red signs on the red side. Exiting through the higher door takes the player on a small bridge. This little which leads to this little sniper's nook here, which overlooks the capture point slightly. It doesn't have much vision of the point, but that's by design to lower how powerful they were when this area was more open. There is also a ramp that takes you to this building if you exit through the main door. I also added this cover for the bridge exit to make it harder for spawn camp, as enemy team can keep an eye on both doors. The direct exit takes players outside this open area. From here, there's quite a few ways players may choose to travel. The left building allows for a more roundabout way to get to the side of the capture point, but it also offers this ramp which takes the player at a higher ground. This was made after a few testing sessions and feedback given that ranged characters were at a disadvantage because of the lack of area they could play around. It also makes this area a different conflict point from the main capture point, as it is an advantageous to have due to its vision of the capture point. And there's also a pickup here to encourage ranged characters to use this area. Going back to the open area outside spawn, players can also take the direct path through here or through this house to get straight to the ramp towards the point. Or they could also go around these boxes and along the wall, which is more of a flank area, but also a retreat area for characters like healer if they need to retreat. And it's also the only area with a large health pack over here. The capture point area is elevated, only slightly though. This was a choice made after the first testing session, as the map felt very flat before. It was added along with the area up here for range characters to give more possible player positions. This area was also changed in size quite a few times to make it larger and balance out the close range characters that had an advantage, which was mostly the pyro that had an advantage in this area. Another change that would have been good to have would be to add another path from each team's spawn points that wraps around and behind the capture point, because as of right now you kind of know exactly where to expect the enemy to come from. There's also a lot of boxes and walls for cover and to play around. These block enemy sightlines more because of how small the map is. It would have been nice to have a few more that would properly divide some of these paths and add more cover, make them more proper flank paths. And finally, inside this building, it's pretty open. I made it as to try and add a few more conflict points because of the pickups in this area. There's two. The two teams can fight over this area. But yeah, this map is really small because I wanted it to be pretty fast paced. But thank you for watching, and this was Cough_Courtyard.